around this time after solstice leading into the new year. So I just have to say that this cycle, if you haven't felt it already, is different. Even the cycle of how I spent the holidays, even the cycle of what occurred this week, it just feels new. So in honor of a breaking of a cycle, I look forward to sharing a little story today. So get cozy and you'll get to know a creation story, something that I received actually in August. And I had to first allow my body to actualize the messages, to embody them. And embodying them meant I had to move through the healing and the clarifying and the alignment that was required. For I don't share anything that I fully stand behind. And this was a message that I knew was big and needed to be shared because it is the basis of my work that I do. It's the basis of how I teach about energy. So take a moment, and if you're in the mood for a little story on this cozy, wintry day in the Northern Hemisphere, or maybe on a comfortable summer day in the Southern Hemisphere, take a moment. I even have some frankincense resin already burning to create a little fire. Cozy up around the fire. And as you get comfortable, just allow yourself to focus fully and to breathe as you listen, and to open your ears to see what resonates. Resonate is a term that is used quite freely. Resonance, you can definitely look up the dictionary definition of it, and it's used in music and sound. Resonance, when I mean to see what resonates, I mean, and how Spirit has defined it to me, is that if something feels right, quote unquote, or feels light. And so something that feels right or feels light, meaning in density, like that type of moment when you have that aha, eureka moment, right? When something feels right or feels light, it feels easeful. And that easefulness travels through your being, right? Our body is made up of water and sound and vibration. So it travels, like how sound travels, through energy waves, through our being. And so then it feels in tone. And in tone, in resonance, means then that it is in tune, in intention, and in pure or clear alignment with Spirit. Alignment with your spirit. So when I say sit and listen, of course, this is not a teaching. It's a story. It's a story that I am resonant with. And that in my work of clearing and healing my being so that I can be in more connection to my inner power, to my capabilities of healing myself, and to my capacity, my infinite capacity, my capacity to create. I had to allow a resonance to occur. And so sometimes when something resonates, right? If you're listening and I share you a story and you're like, oh yes, this is true, it might have different feeling reactions in your actual body. And in that feeling reaction, that's when you have to decipher. Is it because it is triggering a block or something that is starting now, just like kind of rubble starting to shift from the sounds that you are hearing? Or is it just that it is not resonant? And so if ever it comes to a point that you're like, no, you're welcome to turn it off. That is your choice. You always have the right to choose to listen. So, with that precursor, I am so excited to share with you a new way of understanding creation. In the beginning, there was sound. Sound is also known as word. So hence why in some religious texts they say in the beginning there was a word, or the word of God, right? And so the word of God sometimes sounds very weighty, even how I just said it. There's a different type of energy to that. So another way of translating and trying to understand that is to realize that speech is sound, word is sound. So in the beginning, there was sound. And in sound is also vibration. It moves. And with pure sound, mixed with some type of force, there is something that actually occurred. There is something that created. I'll get to that later. But at first, in the beginning, there is sound. Sound is vibration. And if you've ever seen, and I say definitely check out, like on YouTube, if you write like speaker sound with sand, put in those kind of search terms, I'm sure you'll find when you see someone put sand over a speaker, right? And so it's not that they're playing music, they're just literally upping the level of sound, the reverberation of the actual speaker. And so they'll put it up, and that sand will actually create certain patterns. It's so cool. So sound creates. So if in the beginning there is sound, sound can also be known as word, also can be known as speech. So language, every different types of languages are a mixture of sounds, right? Whatever is coming out of my voice is different words, different sounds, okay? And then we know now that sounds create. They have the capacity to create. That vibration shifts matter, shifts things around, moves things into different forms, into different formations, be it liquid or be it solid. So in actuality, words are the way that we can create. Words and actually our sound is the most important thing in the creation story. And we've been taught to believe, right, like from different teachings that have come out in the past, I would say maybe 15-ish odd years or so, right, that there is, that type of like put out a thought, right, believe it's going to come true, and it's going to come true. This type of way of attracting things or bringing things into existence, right? which actually is based in this type of rule or story of creation. We are all creators. Our true capacity is actually limitless. Our true capacity and true nature is infinite possibility. And there was a certain amount of entities that understood the secrets of creation and decided to utilize their sound to create untruths and to allow many to forget this wonderful creation story and the understanding that they are all creators and all have the capacity to live in a life of ease and joy. Whew. And sometimes this idea, because then a select few were utilizing creation capacity to create limits, like from death or strife or challenge. I don't need to talk about all of the things that have created that are of misfortune or unfortunate for us, for you can probably already name those. And so there's this desire, of course, then to listen to someone else or to get healing or connection from someone else to share their take on how to manifest or how to attract or how to create things. And I can talk about this a lot, but I'm just trying to give you a little snippet, a little creation story of realizing then there was a bunch of people that decided to go, hey, we know how to create. Let us reverberate our desires, which will have, we can then benefit us and not all. And in that, one of the things we'll create is that everybody else forgets that they are incredible creators and have the amazing possibilities, infinite possibilities that they can do. And because they did that in a way of having some type of power over others or benefit for only a select few instead of all, which is actually against the rules of creation, right? And but their sound, their words became incredibly big, incredibly powerful, and boomeranged all over this beautiful earth that we call home. It started to almost spread like parasite, disease, and had many repercussions. But the beautiful thing is that now there's enough language that actually has advanced in a way that there is pure sound again, pure words. There is also that the elements of nature, earth, air, water, and fire, are active and working with us in congruence with what we desire to create for the good of all. And that more people have now woken up and kind of chosen to go, you know what? I don't like this old way. I'm ready now to become sovereign over my being, to take back my power, to take back my energy. So because of all of that, now the true ways of how to create are able to come forth. There are enough people that will feel resonance with these words and will want to understand what I mean if you actually sound out thoughts and emotions together that are for and aligned with spirit, that are aligned with us, that we are beings of light first and foremost. That we can truly then begin to create all.